right now. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So yes, so should we start with it, sir? Have you started recording it?
Yes.
Okay. So welcome everyone. This is the Nani Palkhivala Law Club. And here in this lecture series, we offer insight into the life and works of legal stalwarts. And we aim and inspire young lawyers through this journey. And we hope that they can take a page from these legal stalwarts and use it in their own journey. And today I am very much proud to announce my host, Mr. Jayprakash Somani. He is a Supreme Court practitioner, and he has more than 35 publications in his name, which are available on Amazon and Flipkart. And over to you, sir, and he will tell you a lot more about how he started and founded this law club. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Gurupreet is an advocate in Delhi.
Yes, sir.
And thanks for your kind words. Friends, we established this Nani Palkhivala Wednesday Law Club for giving the test of the knowledge of the senior lawyers of the Supreme Court, High Courts, retired judges, and sometimes law ministers, law officers. We want to do this. We want to spread this all over India to each and every legal fraternity, to each and every law students. ये जो सीनियर लॉयर हैं ये कैसे डेवलप हुए हैं, इन्होंने क्या मेहनत की है, कैसे आगे गए हैं, क्या करते हैं, ये सब का जानना है. So this is the main aim of Nani Palkhivala Wednesday Law Club. So this Wednesday Law Club is always holding the one event on Wednesday. Apart from that, also we can host some events in the summer vacations in another timings also. No issue for that. नानी पालखीवाला ये नाम क्यों दिया है ये बताता हूं आपको. बिकॉज नानी पालखीवाला इज माय हीरो. नानी पालखीवाला ये ऐसा ही इज सच टाइप ऑफ बिग लेजेंड इन आवर लीगल हिस्ट्री आफ्टर इंडिपेंडेंस. काफी लोगों का योगदान है. बट टू सेफगार्ड आवर डेमोक्रेसी, इसमें हमारी जुडिशरी का बहुत बड़ा हाथ है. Legislature, judiciary and administration, these are the three poles of the democracy. और जुडिशरी के केशवानंद भारती वर्डिक है, उसका रिव्यू पिटिशन वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है था. एंड देन मिनर्वा मिल का वर्डिक है. इसमें बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर जो है, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर सामने आया. सो पार्लियामेंट कैन नॉट चेंज द बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर. सो डेमोक्रेसी जो सस्टेन करने का जो पूरा श्रेय जाता है ये हमारे जुडिशरी को और स्टालवर्ड लॉयर्स लाइक नानी पालखीवाला इनको जाता है. नानी पालखीवाला का मैं अलग अलग एपिसोड में थोड़ा थोड़ा बताते रहता हूं. ये एपिसोड में मैं ये बताऊंगा कि ये बॉम्बे से आते थे, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आर्गुमेंट करते थे, वापस बॉम्बे जाते थे. इसलिए कभी उनको कोई अपॉइंटमेंट मांगता था कि मिलना है आपको, तो वो कभी कभी अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग 4:30 का अपॉइंटमेंट दे देते, क्योंकि 4:30 का उनका अपॉइंटमेंट 15-20 मिनट का होने के बाद वो एयरपोर्ट को जाते थे, फ्लाइट पकड़ते थे और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में हियरिंग के लिए आ जाते थे. सच टाइप ऑफ बिजी मैन, सब बिजी हीरो नानी पालखीवाला. हम कभी नानी पालखीवाला के ऊपर ही एक अलग प्रोग्राम जरूर लेंगे और आपको उनका काफी जो नॉलेज है वो उनके साथ जो रहे हुए हैं, जिन्होंने उनको देखा है, ऐसे सीनियर लॉयर से ही हम आपको नानी पालखीवाला के बारे में और अवगत कराएंगे. चलो दोस्तों, आज का हमारा जो सेशन है ये हमारे सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जाने माने पूरे भारत के फेमस हमारे सीनियर लॉयर है रंजी थॉमस. Yesterday we met in program जस्टिस सारंग का, हमारा विनीत सारंग का परवे प्रोग्राम था. In that purpose we met there. We know that because मेरा चेंबर 302 है, 312 है, थर्ड फ्लोर पे है और इनका चेंबर 400 फोर्थ फ्लोर पे है. तो उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया और आज हमारे साथ वो है और उनके साथ हम बात करेंगे. उनके साथ आज हमारा इवनिंग है, उनके हर चीज हम जान लेंगे, वो कैसे डेवलप हुए हैं, उनके इंटरेस्टिंग केस लॉज कौन से हैं और कुछ बहुत सारे हम जानेंगे, ताकि ये प्रोग्राम और इंटरेस्टेड बनाएंगे। बाद में इसको यूट्यूब पे भी डालेंगे और आपको जब चाहे वो प्रोग्राम देखने के लिए अवेलेबल हो जाएगा। चलो, नाउ आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग Piyush Hans, sorry, Chandralekha, our executive member, Chandralekha. She will introduce our chief guest today. Chandralekha is practicing lawyer in Supreme Court of India. She is our executive member of Nani Palkhivala Wednesday Law Club. So now towards Chandralekha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I'm Piyush Chandralekha, one of the organizing member of this webinar. From the entire Nani Palkhivala Wednesday Law Club, I welcome all of you and our esteemed guest, Senior Advocate Mr. Ranji Thomas. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
For the practicing advocates of Supreme Court, sir needs no introduction. Everyone knows him. He's also presently the senior executive member of Supreme Court Bar Association. However, for those attendees or guests who are not regular practicing lawyers before the Supreme Court, I'll give a brief introduction. Sir is basically from Kottayam, Kerala. He has done his education from Kerala and his LLB from Karnataka. Sir is also politically active and has represented multiple states like Haryana, Manipur, Nagaland, Bihar before the Honorable Supreme Court. Sir has been working for various PILs, on various PILs of national importance. And sir has also been the Vice President of the NCDRC Bar Association. As I have already mentioned, sir is currently the senior executive member of the Supreme Court Bar Association and has been regularly practicing before Supreme Court since 1985. So now over to Piyush, our co-member. He'll proceed further with the webinar. Thank you, sir. Welcome once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chandralekha ji. Good evening to all. My name is Piyush Hans, and I'm also one of the executive member of Nani Palkhivala Wednesday Law Club, which was created by Mr. Somani, Mr. Jayprakash Somani, a seasoned advocate in Supreme Court of India. No doubt the journey so far with the national, this law club is wonderful, and I'm hopeful that it will be wonderful in the future as well. Now, to start with this session, I would like to ask Mr. Thomas, our guest speaker and the, today's guest, that how was his experience as an advocate general for the state of Arunachal Pradesh? If I'm correct, sir, you were the advocate general for the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Yes.
So how was your experience there, sir? And so that the question is being asked with the mind frame that it can help the legally, legal professionals in the Supreme Court of India, various high courts, and to those who are studying law at this time. Since Mr. Somani has already given a brief introduction about that, who all will be watching us. The program will be also active on the YouTube channel also. So we would like to know about your journey as an advocate general in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, sir.
Yes, please. It's a pleasure for me to participate in your program. And can you enlarge my photo so that I can speak a little more?
Gurpreet will do the needful, I believe. Gurpreet, can you enlarge the screen of sir?
I am handling and
okay, please.
Automatic sir जब बात करेंगे तो अब main screen पे आ जाता है.
Okay.
Right.
So to be an advocate general is something which every advocate aspire to become in a state, because that is the highest judicial, as an advocate, the highest position one can achieve.
once you become an Advocate General, you have a vast responsibility with you, in which you have to advise the cabinet, the government, even the governor, and also in specific cases, the High Court itself. Being the highest officer, it is the duty of the Advocate General to give the right and best advice based on the Constitution of India. Any advice given by the Advocate General will be the basic instrument on which the state government functions. So the responsibilities of the Advocate General is multifaceted. One is advisory capacity. Another one is defending the government in various courts. Government is the largest litigant in a state or center. So the task of the Advocate General is to ensure that the actions by the government is properly defended in the court, and also to advise the government and the concerned to ensure that rule of law and the basic principles of law and the Constitution is followed in letter and spirit. As Advocate General, I was fortunate to discharge various functions, not only that of defending in the High Court and Supreme Court, especially a state like Arunachal Pradesh, where the Civil Procedure Code as well as Criminal Procedure Code is not fully in practice. Being a state from the tribal areas, the tribal laws are more applicable between the tribals in the state. Whereas the administrative machinery is concerned as the state government, they have to follow strictly as per the directions and the administrative guidelines in that regard. And also, as Advocate General, I had a great opportunity to see that being a very new state, to build up the various establishments, including the High Court. Normally, for last few years, in the northeastern states, Guwahati High Court used to be the mother high court, and different states were having benches only in the respective states. Similarly, in Arunachal Pradesh also, in Itanagar, the capital, there was, even now also, the bench is there where two judges, two courts sits there normally. And number of cases are very less comparing to the other states. Now, during my tenure as the Advocate General, I literally had a great occasion to initiate establishment of the High Court itself in Arunachal Pradesh. And the required permission and sanction everything, even though it is not the work of the Advocate General. The Chief Minister of the state and the Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court, who were instrumental to see that Arunachal Pradesh also will have a high court of its own. It was my luck and the blessing of the Almighty that I was there and I could take initiative in that. So now even though I was not there in Arunachal for the last few years, I came to know that the High Court building is almost on the completion stage. So in addition to that, the district courts, district judges were not appointed. So as Advocate General, normally an Advocate General need not look into all those things, but I got a rarest opportunity to do that. Therefore, I was blessed to do that also.
That is really wonderful, sir. Now, as far as I can understand about it, sir, being you were acting like a bridge between the judiciary and the government itself, which is too major a role to understand and handle. And you were handling that big task at that time. So any major challenges during that time, apart from this High Court establishment of the High Court within the state? Since you already mentioned that Guwahati High Court was the parent High Court, and now your initiatives taken at that time, now they are, giving colors of life actually, and you can you received a message that the building of the High Court is now almost completed and everything will be in place within some time. So any other challenges apart from that, being a bridge between the government and the High Court at the same time, and between the judiciary, I must say, rather High Court. So any major challenges apart from this, sir?
The major challenges was that how to conduct the court proceedings itself.
Okay.
For the judicial officers as well as for the various government officers.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from those who are in the IAS and other major establishments, were not much familiar with them. So I also initiated a training program for the police officers. You know, the PPs were also not appointed in many of the districts, and how to conduct the cases. You know, not only that, you know, there are various things where proper machinery has to be oiled, and training is given to all the section of the, you know, the equal partners in all the entire system, the judicial delivery system. So that is there. Then apart from that, that is all extra activities. Normally, Advocate General did not look into all those things. Correct. As Advocate General, of course, I had various work to advise the government in many aspects, because there also even the major activities without basic knowledge of law.
Correct.
Things were happening. So I tried to make a clear-cut definition and guidelines to the government officers, employees, how to conduct each and every proceeding. And also, before taking a decision, they have to follow the rule of law as well as the procedure established by law in all the departments. That was also there in there.
This is also a very new thing to us, that only a part of CPC and CRPC is applicable. At least this is new to me. I've learned that today only from your mouth, sir, that the only a part of CPC and CRPC, because most of the, the states which are, I mean, people who are not from the Northeast side, they don't know whether fully CPC and CRPC are whether fully applicable to those states or not. So this is certainly a new thing for me, and it will certainly help me out in future to have that knowledge from you, sir. And I'm sure that our audience will also be benefited by that. Now, before I hand over to Mr. Somani for further session, I congratulate you again, sir, for being elected as a senior member executive in the topmost bar of our country, the Supreme Court Bar Association, sir. So now, Mr. Somani, over to you for the session, sir.
Yes. Ranji sir, you entered in SCBA, okay, and then within 2 to 3 years, you become assistant secretary. Then you become in 1991-92 acting secretary. So such type of great achievement you have done because of your public relation organizing skill. And when I look towards your biodata, you are born in Kerala. You are giving services like Advocate General in Arunachal Pradesh. Then you are standing, was standing counsel for Rajasthan also. You are standing counsel, panel lawyer for government of Assam also in Supreme Court. You are member of Delhi Bar Council also. So how different places, how you are giving your services and different segments. So it exactly required a good public relation, good communication skill. So can you elaborate some good tips how lawyer can develop his communication skill, how lawyer can develop his public relation without breaking the rule of BCI? BCI means Bar Council of India, without solicitation, without advertisement. How lawyer can build up his connection? So if you give some focus on this, so public will be very happy.
See, all these things are not in a general capacity. Everyone, each individual is a leader in his own. Every child is born as a leader. It is an opportunity which matters. Whether anyone is getting an opportunity. Now, like Mr. Somani, you have got an opportunity and you have utilized it in the appropriate manner. You have established a club in the name of the greatest lawyer of this country, where all the generation of lawyers look forward to follow him. Similarly, when a person gets an opportunity, it is for him or her to understand it and utilize it to the extent possible to establish his own credentials and capacity. See, you also have to try. If you sit at home, you don't get anything. Even it is said that 50%, those who are working, the remaining 50%, God will do for you.
Yes, yes.
If you are sitting at home and expecting somebody to come and help you, normally that doesn't happen. So my advice to all my young friends, those who are young practicing lawyers as well as the law students, utilize every opportunity where, you see, it is not only that only in the legal platform. Political platforms are there, social platforms are there. Wherever you can involve yourself into, take lead. Take lead in that particular areas where you can contribute yourself in your own capacity. Once you are able to prove that you are capable of doing something, naturally, those who are around will be looking at that and see that, oh, this person is very good, we can utilize him. So then they will utilize if you are fit and competent for that. That's the only PR I did, and I can advise my friends to do that. That's it.
Very nice, very nice. And we all want to hear from you, to learn from you. How is your journey from childhood to this current position? आपका कैसा सफर रहा? आपका पढ़ाई कब हुआ? आप कॉलेज में कहाँ जाते थे? ये थोड़ा सा शॉर्ट में बता के थोड़ा सा you explain more about your legal journey. So we would want to give this taste of this legal journey to our law student, कि उनको भी पता चलना चाहिए कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक पहुंचने तक इन्होंने कहाँ क्या क्या किया है, ताकि they will get motivated from rural area people, they will get motivated.
It is a very interesting, humble story of mine. I was born in a very ordinary farmer's family. My father was one of the best farmer of my area, and I happened to be his second son. And I was actively involved in every activities from my childhood. That's why I was telling earlier when you were asking that question, try to do the best wherever, whenever, whatever you can do, irrespective of the place or position you are having. So as a child, I organized the children's club. The first thing in my life was when I was 10 years old, I organized a children's club in my village.
Very nice.
For me, I was a great fan of Mahatma Gandhi. From my 5th year or 6th year onwards, I was fond of him. Also Jawaharlal Nehru. I admired both of them. They were my role models and greatest leaders I, at that point of time, could ever imagine about them. But I never knew that suffering what they had to become that great people. So my children's club was named in the name of Mahatma Gandhi. It was called Gandhi's Smaraka Children's Club. So we started, all the children in our area started working, in all social activities, social work, which we started doing in our area. From there, slowly I got into the students' politics. I was actively involved in the student politics of Kerala till my graduation. And thereafter, there was very limited law colleges in Kerala at that point of time. And we were all looking to Karnataka, which was a great place where all of our people were accommodated in various medicine, engineering, law, and every aspect. So I was also fortunate to get admission there in Udupi, Manipal Law College. And there also, after reaching there, I never thought that it is a different place, even though I was not familiar with another state. My English was not that good. I did study in a Malayalam medium school only in Kerala. A government school initially, it was up to my 5th standard. Then I was in another school in the town. So speaking English was also not that familiar with me, and I was not that good. So there, the local language was Kannada from Karnataka. So once I joined there, I actively participated in, apart from my studies, into the students' union activities. So there also I got in touch with the entire friends, whomever I can. I used that opportunity to develop my organization, not me. That's what is not happening today. Today, everybody is trying to develop themselves. If we develop an organization, we grow along with the organization. We grow along with the institution. That is where the young generation will have to take more active role in that. So there I did my legal studies along with my all activities. And then I, again, the blessing of God only I can say. After my exams, I was supposed to go back to Kerala, to Kottayam, and start my practice there. But what was meant for me was different. So my friend and leader in there, because of my activities in the Students' Union, he was very much concerned about the organizational work, and he asked me, why don't you come to Delhi? Let us do some activities in Delhi University also. So my work was accepted. My involvement in the activities was appreciated. So I was brought here. Before joining my exams, the moment the exams were over, I came over. So in Delhi University, I have been visiting to Delhi University, and thereafter my enrollment, after the result came, I enrolled, and I was put with a senior advocate who were a very known person. So I had that opportunity also. Mr. M.C. Bhandare, he was also governor of Odisha and the United Nations Subcommission, chairman on human rights. So again, it is the God's call that it is nothing that I ever thought of that I'll go to meet anybody or anything like that. So my activities there also, he was become president of the Supreme Court Bar Association after 2 years of my joining the bar. 2 years he was president of the Supreme Court Bar.
Very good.
So subsequently, being with him, I continued my legal practice. And also, as you said, the bar elections, I happened to participate and I was elected, and my activities and my relationship with my friends and colleagues was rewarded. That's why I got elected. Then I became subsequently, my activities at the bar helped me in getting the love and affection of the members of the bar. So that's why again I was elected. Then I became standing council of Rajasthan, Assam, and other places. I continued. And then one fine day, there was a problem. I was advisor to Chief Minister, legal advisor to Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh at that point of time.
Great, great.
One day, there was some case which there was a complication, and the cabinet wanted the Advocate General to explain, and then they wanted to replace the Advocate General. So then the question came, who will be the Advocate General next? So then, since I, being the advisor to CM, I initiated a lot of things which I earlier mentioned for the improvement of the state. This is first time somebody has advised them on all these Indian laws and how to improve the whole system. So they were very happy with me. Then the Chief Minister called me and asked, can you become Advocate General? We have the earlier Advocate General resigned and we have to appoint a new Advocate General. I said, every lawyer would love to be the Advocate General.
Yes.
So, nobody will say no to that, and I'm really honored.
And sorry for interruption, but people have to try to get that advocate generalship. But you are so much fortunate. Chief Minister asked you to take that position, so this is very great.
That's what I'm telling. These are all opportunities, and it is not because of our, lobbying or trying for that. It is when we do our work properly. Because as the advisor to CM, I have advised them all developing the entire judicial system there. So that was very much effective for them, which is the first time somebody has guided them. Otherwise, we as Advocate General or Advocate, we bother about the brief what we are having. We argue the case and take the fees. That's all. The matter ends there. But as an advisor, I have advised them very clearly. So they were very happy with my advice and my commitment to improve the state. So that's why it was offered, and then I was, with great gratitude, I have accepted it. And I had 2.5 years time till the government was dismissed by the central government. I was there, and I did my responsibilities in a very, very clear manner.
As the Advocate General, how many matters you was used to handle every day?
I told you in the initial stage itself, Arunachal Pradesh is a tribal state, and civil law and criminal law is not much applicable there, because if there is a dispute in a village, they never go to any court. The Panchayat will decide it. The Panchayat is the police. They don't have to go to a court. They have certain fixed things where they will finish it off according to that. But only in major criminal cases, or a fight between two different outsider and local person, then only the case come to the court. In addition to that, service matters definitely come. Because everyone, if there is a service dispute with the government, of course, naturally everyone will go to the government. And civil dispute also normally don't come between property dispute and all, they don't come because it is a vast state and everyone is having sufficient property placed there. So civil cases and criminal cases, that's why it is not much there. But only these cases, and now the public awareness, public interest litigations are the highest number in Arunachal Pradesh than in other cases like that. So that is the main work which we are supposed to do. And also it is my responsibility, as I was thinking as the Advocate General, not develop myself. I have given importance to the local lawyers. The lawyers from Arunachal Pradesh, who were Additional Advocate General and government lawyers. I asked them to conduct all the cases as much as possible. And if there is any difficulty for them, then only I will appear. So for me, I was not keen that I have to appear in all number of cases and I do, every day, all the cases. No, I said in case of any difficulty, I am there to help you. Otherwise, you should appear. The local lawyers should get the experience and knowledge to appear and improve themselves. That is where it is required.
Oh, sir, I want to ask one question. Which leading cases you like, and on which leading cases you want to give some information to the audience? That leading case may be a Supreme Court, that leading case may be a Kerala court, that leading case may be a any state courts also, no issue. But which leading cases you want to focus, or some your own experiences also in leading cases?
As in Arunachal and all, I don't want to say, because there are a large number of public interest litigations are there, which no need of expressing about that, keep on happening every state nowadays. Even in Supreme Court also, a large number of, being a Rajasthan government standing council, every day I was appearing in 20 matters, SLPs in a day for 2 to 3 years. So these are all not cases where we can, explain or express, because this is the routine work of the government. Whatever is there, there are a large number of criminal cases. 2 years I was only handling many of the things. So almost 22 matters were there. So in that matter, there are normal criminal cases, then other NDPS matters, civil matters, large number of cases were there in that. But in specifically, if I say about some cases, I can say about the first case I had in 1986 when I joined the bar. I still remember that case. That was a case of a class 4 employee. Sabar Singh, his name, I think. Sabar Singh versus Central Board of Secondary Education. That was the first case I appeared. He was removed from his job. So that is one thing. Then subsequent to that, then there is, I also, in that period, public interest litigations were not that much as what we are having today. There was an incident in Uttar Pradesh, Khurja and Muradabad. There was an eye operation camp was held, and 89 persons were operated. Out of them, 84 lost their sight. It was a big tragedy. So I personally filed a PAL. There was one person called Mithal, A.S. Mithal, who was a very active person. So he came to me. At the time, he came and said, sir, there is a big tragedy happened. Can you help us? Can you do something? So I said, all right, let us see. Then I took all the newspaper reports and whatever available and filed my first public interest litigation in Supreme Court. And it went before two great judges. Both of them became Chief Justices subsequently. Justice Ranganath Mishra and Justice M.N. Venkatachalaya. So that bench, they were sitting in court number 6 at that point of time. So once I started arguing the matter, they said, how can you file a PAL? Because the operation was conducted by Rotary Club. It's a private organization. Then the operation was done by another doctor who was not in government service. So the question of how can the state be involved in that? PL can be filed against the state only. Otherwise, they were supposed to file civil suit for damages and all these things. So the court was initially not inclined. Then the question was, they were very considerate. They said, young lawyer, we understand your spirit, but how can we help you? Where is the involvement of the state? Then luckily I got one point in that. The district medical officer was supposed to visit that place and give a certificate that the operation can be conducted and the position is good. It was 44 degrees Celsius at that point of time. And an open, tent which they had. So probably the medical officer was not discharged his duty properly. So I said, this was the sole responsibility of the district medical officer to ensure that the operation was held properly and precaution was taken in that, which probably he has not done, and it is a failure of the government. And in a welfare state, it is a responsibility of the government to protect the life of the citizen. So there is a serious lapse in that. The moment I said that, both the judges took back the brief and said, you have done wonderfully, given us the right thing. So they have issued notice immediately, and they have also asked that whether any proper guidelines for the eye operation camps were there in India at that point of time. So they suo moto included Medical Council of India also as a party, a Union of India, and a proper guideline was thereafter made for eye operation camp throughout the country. I think that's all reported 1989 Supreme Court. I think you will get that. Yes, Mittal versus State of UP.
Okay.
And 25,000 rupees was given as gratia to all those 84 persons. In addition to that, they said limitation period was waived. Each one of them, if they want to go for a civil suit for damages or whatever according to their own requirement, they can do that. That all things were done in that. That was one of my first famous case in which I could very satisfactorily do that. Then subsequently, also I did another, because I am a citizen who is concerned about the developments in the country. And I also believe that every lawyer has a duty towards the country and constitution. We are officers of the court also. We are not just mere money-making work as a lawyer. It's not the thing. We are officers of the court, so we have to ensure that the constitution is followed properly. So when in 1989 or 90, 22 governors were removed by the then government head by VP Singh, Prime Minister VP Singh at that point of time. Because the government was changed, Rajiv Gandhi and Chandralekha's government was there. Before that, the governors appointed 22 governors at a time were removed. So constitution never says that. What is constitution says? 156. The governor will continue according to as the pleasure of the president. But the term is for 5 years. How can the 5-year term be curtailed in 1 year time or 2 year time? And how can the displeasure come on all the governors at a time? What is the meaning of the pleasure of the president? President cannot have a pleasure of his own. He likes somebody's face. He doesn't like somebody's face. That cannot be a pleasure for that. Like that. So the Honorable Supreme Court immediately took it seriously. And notice was issued. And a constitution bench was subsequently formed to hear this matter. But by the time it was almost 10 years were over when the matter finally heard the constitution. That is also another tragedy in our country. Any issue, if a constitution bench will have to be heard, we have to wait for so many years. By the time, half of them were no more. And of course, after 5 years, no governor will remain also. So when the matter came, the Attorney General was, at the time was Mr. Solicitor, one of the greatest lawyer, constitutional expert of our country. So he objected to my filing the petition. How said, who is Ranji Thomas? What business he is having to file for on behalf of the governor? Is he a governor? So he objected to my locus standi itself. But I said that, you see, it is not that. Ranji Thomas is a dutiful citizen, a responsible citizen of this country, and I have every right to question if something is happening against the constitution. And subsequently, no person with public appreciation or serious responsibility will not accept the governor post. It will be absolutely a political appointment if proper steps are not taken. So the Honorable Court was very clearly told the Attorney General that yes, I have locus. The judgment was in my favor as far as my locus is concerned. And thereafter, since it was 10 years over and no governor was remaining in the position, no effective order could be passed on that point. Otherwise, the matter went in my favor, and subsequently, after the judgment came, another case was filed, and that was followed in that case also. Then also, I also remember that in 2002, in the Gujarat, the present Prime Minister was Chief Minister at the time in Gujarat. So the dissolution of the assembly, whether it is possible before 6 months or not. So there again, the constitutional issue was there. Special reference, the President of India has referred the matter for the Supreme Court. I had an opportunity to coordinate that matter also. Then there are several matters which I don't think I should explain many, and you know, it will be boring if I keep on talking all these things.
No. That is most valuable inputs for our legal fraternity of India. And I want to ask one question. What is your idea, or what solution you can give to the judiciary to clear the pending cases? There are so many pending cases in Supreme Court, High Court, and how we can eliminate this pendency?
It is basically a question to be decided by the government. Number one is government is responsible. Number two, the courts are responsible. Number three, the lawyers are responsible. So the contribution of all these three for the delay is almost in the equal nature. The government is the largest litigant in the country, whether central government or state government. Most of the government cases are conducted in a manner which is not conducted like the private respondents. There the government comes and the lawyers come and change. So most of the time, adjournments. Even you might be reading in the newspapers, even after 10 adjournment also, the government don't come much with the reply or after it. Then the court will have to impose cost on them. My view, very clearly, the concerned officer responsible in a government department should be taken to task. Once a notice is issued in a matter, on the next day, 30 days time, they should file it. If they don't file, the action should be taken against that officer concerned. The first step of reducing the pendency, that will be the major step one can take in there. Number two, as a lawyer, either of us, petitioner side or respondent side, will have some more other reason to get the matter adjourned. So the court cannot say that I will not adjourn the matter, because if the lawyer says that some or other reason, once, twice, thrice, you know, the court will have to allow that. So then what all the other things are there? So if a collective mindset is there, that has to be without prejudice, and responsibility and accountability has to be fixed. In that case, 50% of the pendency will come down, according to me.
Very nice. Yes. And last question I would like to ask you. Before that, I want to announce next Wednesday's our evening with Mr. Senior Lawyer Rakesh Khanna. He will be with us and we will discuss with him. So my last question to Ranji Thomas, sir. What is your message to entire lawyers of India and to law students of India? What is your message?
I already conveyed my message in my previous questions, which I will reiterate again. Use every opportunity. As a student, you get opportunity to participate in moot courts, legal aid. Take up legal aid as a mission. Note that just because you want to pass time with commitment, with dedication, try to take up the poor and downtrodden man's case and do it. By doing his case, you are not doing any charity for him. You are doing your responsibility to the country and responsibility to the fellow human being. You don't have to search God in the temples or the churches or the mosques. You have to search God in another human being. The God lives in every human being. When you are helping a poor man, you are following God and what God preached, and God is telling you to do it. So try to do the best, every opportunity to help any other person. That's the first thing a student can do. And thereafter, once you are getting into the legal profession, try to utilize every opportunity in the activities in and outside the court, and take public interest litigations and various, social developmental things. Involved in all activities, whatever, even political. Everybody will have different political attitude. I'm not saying that this party or that party or any party, but don't forget about it. After all, we are all human beings, and rule of law, and every human being will have to be respected. You should not restrict your own thing to one particular section of people. You have to see that the weaker section, the poor section, and the suppressed and oppressed people are protected. And every human being is equal. There is no big man or a small man. Unless and until you give that message, you are not a true advocate. So as a good advocate and a true advocate and a message of peace and God's representative, it is the duty of a lawyer. The God will be always there for you. The God will show you the path. God will give you the right way, and you will be there. Like whatever I could do, it is only because of that. That's my message.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable thoughts, your experiences with us. And thank you very much for giving your valuable time to us. As a friend, we are always in Supreme Court. We are taking coffees, we are taking lunch together, no issue. But your experiences as a Advocate General, as a bar secretary, and standing councils of Rajasthan, and all experiences are very, very informative. So all the best. And thank you audience to attend this program. Every Wednesday, we'll give you best personality to know about him, to know about his hobby, to know about his and just I want one question in my mind. Are you first generation lawyer, or are you second or third generation lawyer?
I started with saying that I am son of a farmer, and I was not supposed to be a lawyer also because of lack of law colleges in Kerala. And one of my friend happened to be in Karnataka doing his engineering. So one day when I met him, I said, "You are not here, and how come you are?" He said, "I am doing my engineering in Manipal." So then I said, "Is there a local?" Because my friends at the time, since I was involved in the activities at the time in Kerala, so my friends, many of them are lawyers. So I also thought to become a lawyer. So if there is a law college, please help me. So he sent me the message that there is the last admission is going to be over. Come fast. Telegram was there at the time. There was no phone and mobile at the time in there. So I went there, and therefore my life, my thing is from the farmer to a lawyer only, and there is no other.
Oh, this is very great thing. This is very great thing from Kerala's, from small towns, farmers' son reach up to Supreme Court at international level, national level, and now he's a senior lawyer. Okay, so this is very great thing. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.